I know the holidays bring up a lot when you're grieving or going through a hard season in your life. And the people talk about, the missing chair and the missing stocking and the first holiday without them, and all of which needs to be acknowledged and are really hard and important. But in this video, I actually want to talk about the silent storm of grief. The grief that hits you out of nowhere. Quite literally, it takes your breath away. The moments that feel like you've been punched in the stomach or the chest when no one's watching and no one sees, and how the holidays make it that much harder. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Destiny Rael. I'm a trauma-informed grief and life coach, life after loss coach, and more importantly, I'm a griever. I have lived it, and I help people move through grief and change to really help rediscover themselves and rebuild a meaningful life that they can actually live in. And I know all too well how the holidays just amplify the grief all over again. So if you're carrying something heavy right now or just going through a hard time, you belong here, and this video is for you. Because I know when you're grieving or going through a loss, it's the unseen grief moments that can happen anywhere, anytime in the middle of spring on a random Tuesday. Grief definitely does not have a season. But during the holidays, the triggers are everywhere. You can't escape them. You just want to pull the covers over your head and avoid the entire season like a bear in a cave, and you just wake up in March. And don't get me wrong, the grief will be waiting for you, but the holidays just seem to amplify it. And I'm not even talking about the obvious holiday grief, the traditions and the gatherings and the memories. Those are hard enough. I'm talking about those moments, those unseen grief experiences that happen that holidays just seem to highlight, or it's like they shine this big spotlight on them. Because everywhere you turn, there's holiday music playing in every store, saying it's the most wonderful time of the year, or the perfect Hallmarky happy ending movie on the screen. Lights on the trees, Black Friday sales, office parties, kids in school plays. It's like the whole world is just covered in glitter and joy, and you're just trying to survive. I know, I have lived it. And on top of that, everyone's celebrating. It's all over your social media feed, or you walk outside and it just seems like it smacks you in the face. And it can make your grief feel even more isolating, because the contrast between what you're feeling and what the world is telling you can be deafening. So in this video, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to walk you through some of those everyday grief moments that become unbearable during this season, so you can name what you're experiencing. And while you are alone in it, I hope, if anything, you don't feel so alone in it, that we're all in this together. I'm also going to explain what's actually happening in your body when these moments hit and why it feels so overwhelming. And there's science behind that, so stay tuned for that. And finally, I'm going to give you some practical, grounded tools that you can use in the moment when the silent storm just shows up. So let's start with the moments themselves. And I know there are many. I should probably do an entire series on them all, but these are just a few. But let's dive in. So the griefs that aren't given, when you write the holiday list and their name isn't on it anymore. Or like my brother and I, where we would go in on holiday gifts, and I would always have like my list of, you owe me this amount of money. And just that, I don't do that list anymore. Or you're walking through the store and you see that perfect thing for them, and you might even pick it up before your brain even catches up, and then you remember. Or sometimes maybe you buy it anyway, because not buying it somehow feels like you're erasing them. But it ends up in the closet, because what do you do with the gift? What do you do with a gift with somebody who's no longer here? Or maybe it's that gift that they gave you that is, that childhood gift that's just sitting there waiting for you. And then there are the gifts that you don't receive, the inside joke, or the thing that only they knew that you loved, or even that tradition that you share that no one even notices, or the stocking stuffers that they only knew to pick out, or that you both exchanged every year. And I know that there's usually a focus on what you give in the holidays, but grief shows up in the things that you no longer receive. Of course, this can happen all year long. I mean, holidays and birthdays. But during this time of year, or at least this season, it seems like gift giving is everywhere. Every commercial is out and about finding the perfect gift for the one you love. It's inescapable. I mean, as we speak, I have this whole cabinet where I have all these wine bottles Many of them are empty. And one of them is a gift that my brother gave me, a wine bottle, the very last Christmas we were together. And we laughed so hard because he also gave me this yoga mat, and it was with a yoga carrier, and it had a space for a water bottle. So we thought it was hilarious that, as if I would like walk in the yoga studio with this, instead of a water bottle, I would have a wine bottle and I'd be like kicking it back. We had the whole scenario in our heads and we laughed so hard. And little did I know, and even as I say this, it takes my breath away. But that was the last Christmas that we were together, because 2 weeks later, literally, he passed away, January 8th, and 2 days before his birthday. And that was the last gift I ever got from him. So it aches. But I know it's not just about the gifts. Grief follows you everywhere, even when you're just trying to get through the day. It's in the stores and you try to avoid them, or the aisles that you avoid. It's their favorite holiday candy, or the favorite brand of coffee, or the ingredients that you make every holiday morning, or that breakfast dish. And you're just trying to do your groceries or get your groceries done. But then you turn the corner and you see their favorite thing and you suddenly can't breathe. You abandon the cart, you leave the store abruptly, and you just sit in your car trying to pull yourself together. I know, I've been there, I have lived it. And sometimes you try to change routes, or you even try to avoid that. You order your groceries online, or you try to avoid the pain by avoiding all the places where those memories live. But the holidays, it's like you can't avoid it when you have to shop more. The stores are louder, they're busier, and they're filled with reminders everywhere. There's nowhere to hide. And your body remembers. Even when your mind is trying to consciously avoid it, your body is holding on and it stores those memories. But then when you do make it home, those reminders don't stop, because they're all around you. Because then there's the things that you can't avoid. There's the things that you can't throw away, and no one even knows. It's the toothbrush that's sitting in the cup untouched. Or maybe it's the coat still hanging by the door, or the shoes that you step over, or the mug that you know is staring at you in the cabinet but you can't use. Or it's seeing the stocking in the bin and leaving it there. You may have been living with these things all year long, and maybe you even see them all the time, but during the holidays, it's like they just are staring at you, especially when you know people are going to be coming over, or maybe you're hosting something, or you're preparing for a gathering. It's like you become hyper aware, but no one sees these moments. No one sees the way your breath changes when you open that cabinet, and for a split second, you feel like they're going to walk through the door, or you hear that ping on your phone, and for a moment you think it might be them. No one sees that. And these aren't dramatic moments. These are grief reactions that are very real, that your body is responding to. And it's not even just by death or bereavement. Maybe it's the hoodie from a breakup, or it's that letter that you're just not ready to throw away, or the text that you're just not ready to delete, or a piece of your life that's just still holds meaning, even though everything around you has changed. Because grief has layers, and physical material objects, they hold them. And the holidays make it impossible to ignore. But it's not just the things you see every day. I mean, that is hard enough. But it's the holiday decor that you know that you might be bringing out once a year, that's been hidden in your closet, that you're just not ready to open. And of course, while everyone else is decorating, or they're putting up the trees and starting, sharing the holiday photos on social media, there you are, avoiding it all. You know that there's that one ornament that you just can't hang. Or maybe it's the only one that you want to hang and nothing else, because it represents them, or it represents a moment in your life, or the life that you had before everything changed. Or maybe you don't even decorate at all. I mean, I didn't decorate. I still really kind of don't decorate as much as I used to be, like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation. If you ever watched that movie, that changed. But maybe you keep it simple, and because the other way is just no longer in your life. And that's okay. Grief changes how you move through the world, or what's important to you. And it can change every year. It changes how we handle things, or what we have the capacity for. But sometimes the hardest moments aren't even what you see. They're what people say. The questions that quite literally take your breath away. They ask you who's coming, or you see that invite land in your inbox and you know you have to RSVP. But this time you have to RSVP with one instead of two. Or maybe you just don't even go at all. Or you get asked, what do you want this year? And the real answer, they can't give you. And you may not even say it out loud, but you want to say, I want them back. I want one more conversation. I want one more hug. I want one more moment. That's what I want. But you don't say that. You hold it in, and you hold your breath in and your stomach aches, and you just say, I don't know. These are the questions that remind you of the one thing that if you would give anything to have again, that you can't. And that aches beyond even the words that I could express. But even beyond these questions that people ask, it's the silence around what they don't ask or what they don't say or what they don't even know about, such as the small rituals that only you know and only you remember. And it's not always those, big traditions. It's just those small moments, those small ones, the things that only you did together, the rituals that no one else knew existed. Maybe it's how they burn the toast on holiday morning, or how you'd watch that one movie together every year over and over. My brother and I just loved, there were so many movies, but the movie The Elf, and he loved when I would watch it and we'd have to rewind all the funny parts and over, and we would laugh hysterically as always. Or the childhood memory that you would reminisce about every single year. Any shared moment that was special to you. No one asks about those because they didn't know about it, but you're holding them and you're the one grieving them. And these are the unseen griefs that no one knows or sees. But the holidays, it's like they shine a spotlight on what's missing. Not just the person, of course, but also those tiny moments that made the season special for you. But the impact is not tiny. It hits, and it hits hard. So that's what I want to talk about next, is why it hits so hard and why these moments feel so overwhelming during the holidays and what is actually happening in your body. So your nervous system has two main states, regulated and dysregulated. Now, when you're regulated, you feel grounded, you feel steady, you feel safe. But when you're grieving, especially during the holidays like we're talking about, your system is constantly shifting between the two, regulated and dysregulated. And it's on high alert. And here's why. Your body stores grief, not just your mind, but your body remembers through sensations, through tension, through breath, through emotion. So when you walk past their favorite candy, or you see their toothbrush, or someone asks you what you want, your body reacts before your brain even knows what's happening. Your amygdala is the part of the brain that scans for threat. And it doesn't distinguish between physical danger and emotional pain. To your nervous system, loss feels like a threat. It feels like it's in danger because connection equals safety. So your sympathetic system activates that fight, flight, or freeze mode. Your heart rate increases, your breath gets shallow. And you probably noticed that even in this video as I was talking and sharing memories of my own. Your chest tightens, your throat closes. You might feel shaky or dizzy or disconnected, and all of that at once. This is somatic memory. Your nervous system encoded the grief. So when something reminds you of that loss or of that trauma, your body is reacting as if it's happening right now. So when your chest tightens at the grocery store, or your throat closes when you hear that song and you have to run out of the store, it isn't you being weak. It isn't you being too emotional. It isn't you being over dramatic. It's quite literally your nervous system is trying to keep you safe the only way it knows how. And during the holidays, your system is overloaded. It is overwhelmed. There's more lights, more noise, more emotion, more social pressure, more reminders everywhere. You've got social media feeds all over the place, and more expectations, more. And your nervous system has less space to process. So each trigger lands that much harder. You're not overreacting. You're not overdramatic. Your body is remembering. And it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. And understanding this is really the first step in supporting yourself through it. So let's talk about what you can actually do when these moments hit. So one of the things is creating real boundaries with your nervous system in mind. So especially social media and digital world. This might mean muting social media accounts that trigger you, or taking a break from those highlight reels, or just quite literally deleting the app altogether for a few days, or even, the whole season if that's feasible. Because your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a real interaction and a digital one. So when you're scrolling through the holly jolly posts, or you see, that child on Santa's lap and you're hurting, your body feels that dissonance. So give yourself permission to take that break or to pull back. And it's not just digitally. It's the holiday plans, it's the RSVP. So give yourself permission to simplify that, or change your mind at the last minute, or leave early, or just not go at all if your body is saying it's too much right now. Your only job right now is to move at the pace your heart and your nervous system can handle, not at the pace the world is moving. So number 2, creating a grounding ritual. And it can be simple. Maybe it's making their favorite dish, or lighting a candle for them every night, or you choose a song that's theirs and you allow yourself to listen to it all the way through. Or maybe you write a letter to that person that you miss, or send a holiday card to the person and actually addressing it to yourself and sending it physically, putting it in the mailbox, just making it intentional, because grief needs to be witnessed and it needs to be expressed. And your nervous system needs that signal that says, okay, we're acknowledging this. We're giving this space. And number 3, letting it move through you. I always say grief needs to move through you. It will guide you. So when those unexpected moments hit, and they will, you don't have to make them disappear. You just have to let it move through you and tune into it. Maybe even ask, what do you need from me today? Maybe it's just one slow breath, or one pause, or just noticing the tension in your shoulders and softening it, or unclenching your jaw, or even grabbing onto something with texture so you can just feel that in your hand or in your body. Or you let the tears flow if they need to. You just let your body and the grief move through you, because it's really just trying to release what it's holding. And then when you're ready, just take one more breath and keep going. And you can repeat that if you have to. Trust your body, tune into your body, it will let you know. So if this season is stirring up more than you expected, or if you feel like you are just being hit by memories and objects and traditions and moments that just completely blindside you and catch you off guard, just know that you're not imagining it. Even if no one sees them, you know that you're carrying them. Your body definitely knows that it's carrying it. These moments are real and they matter and they deserve space. And they're actually calling for your attention. So I encourage you to move through the season in the way your soul needs, not the way the world tells you to do. So I hope you will try one of these tools when that grief moment hits. And again, it will. But just really see what supports your heart or your nervous system, and give yourself permission to do what you need to do. And do what your grief needs and how it needs to be moved through you. Even if that means leaving the store, or skipping the party, or turning the radio off, or just saying no, whatever it means, trust that. And if this or any of this has resonated with you, I would love to hear in the comments what moment landed for you, or just what some of those grief moments that come up. I know there's so much more that I couldn't even touch on. But if anything, I just hope you're not alone in that. And of course, if you do need more support during the season or any time of year, I'm here for you. I offer private one-on-one grief support, and I would love to invite you to schedule a free call with me to just see how I can support you more. I would love to connect with you. In the meantime, I'm here, and I will see you in the next week's video, as we're going to continue this series on grief and the holidays. Be gentle on yourself and your heart, and let your grief guide you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for being here.